Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela, I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and welcome back to this week's Whips, Bits and Chat. Now come on, let's go and see what I got for you today. Right, so first up this week is our video roundup. Now there wasn't many videos this week, not at all. I did have a couple that were meant to go up, but we all know what I'm like. I forget to put the dates and times in properly, so they'll be coming out next week or the week after. Right, so the ones that you did manage to have access to was, of course, this week's Stitch a Week, which was the popcorn stitch. In the video I do say add as many popcorns or take as many away as you like. The choice is up to you. I'm just there to show you how to do the stitch and let you run with it. Because of course with the popcorn stitch you can use it for all sorts. You can use it to make actual designs within blankets, and not just backwards and forwards and here's one, here's another type thing. So it is a very, very versatile stitch. I may do a video at a later point showing you a couple of other tips and tricks that you can do with that stitch, but again that is going to have to be something that I've got my brain in gear for, and my brain's not there this week or last week. Right, and then we had our Throwback Friday. That was number 62. Now I'm starting to think that really most of you have seen these videos that are coming around again already, so I'm tempted to get up to week 70 and then put it on pause for a little while. Hopefully by then I'll have other content that I can put in its place for a while. I'm just going to have to wait and see on that one. Would you prefer me keeping those throwbacks because they make you laugh and giggle, or would you prefer they took a break? Pop your comment in the comment section down below. Please help a girl out so she knows she's not wasting her time. Right, and let's get on with other bits and pieces. Okay, so this week I have been crocheting up a storm. I've been making a jumper. I showed you the start of it, I believe, last week. I have now completely completed it, so I'm going to jump over in a second, stick it on, and then come back. Now, it's in mint green. The only thing I like about it is the buttons. So, yeah, the pattern itself is beautiful. The pattern itself is lovely. It does look pretty, but oh my gosh, haven't I chosen the wrong colour? But I chose the colour because that's the only one I had multiple balls of, enough that I knew I would not run out. And it was the first time I'd actually copied a jumper pattern from any books or magazines. Now the jumper itself came out of this month's copy of Inside Crochet. There will be a link up here. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, there in it. A link up there to this magazine review so you can see it. And you'll get to see photos of the item, all nice, but I'll quickly show you them now. Let's move that a sec. The jumper that I made is this one here. Now, for the life of me, I don't know why I picked it, why I chose it, apart from I thought it was pretty. I was going to make it for me, but then I realised as I was finishing it off, I don't really like V-necks because they don't stay on my shoulders very well, and the ending of it sits on the worst part of my body, which for me is my stomach. So whether I end up wearing it at all, or whether it ends up either in a box or given away in a box under the table or given away as a present, I really don't know yet. You never know, I might even attempt to sell it. It's a horrible colour, it really is. Now there is what the front and the back should look like. Okay, so let's have a giggle. I'm going to go and put it on and I'll be back in a second. No, let's actually show you it now with the buttons, so then I can just take it off and pop it in the corner. Right, so here it is finished. This is what the sleeves look like. They're like a belled sleeve. Okay, comes across. There is the top section, and then the bottom has the same stitch work as the sleeve. Okay, then we have our V, so mine are quite equally matched. Then of course we come across and we've got the other side there. Now I would have put it up on this one, but it doesn't look right because it's such it's a large size. Now I used the measurements in the book for a, hold on, I've got to find it again because I didn't save the page. Sorry about this, gang. There we go. Right. Yeah, so I used the second from large size. Okay, which, oh, where is it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Which should have given me 128 inches. I believe it's either a 1 or a 2XL. I don't know, all this sizing stuff confuses me. Right, now I'll go and put it on and we'll have a giggle. Okay, so here it is. Here's what it looks like on the front. Here's what it looks like on the back. Now, as you can see, for me, the top section of this I think is too baggy. It's too big size up. But I needed to do that to cover my midriff. So for me, this isn't really a jumper I think I would end up wearing. It actually reminds me of a bed jacket my grandmother had. So yeah, it's coming off because I can't keep it on my shoulders. I might end up having to add a little panel on the back, but it depends. You never know, I might be able to find someone that it fits, that's not as awkwardly shaped as me. But yeah, it's definitely too big for me on the top and too small for me around the belly. But there wasn't much more I could do. I couldn't really adjust it any more than what I had. I think I added a couple of extra rows on the tummy. Didn't show you the buttons. I've just realised as I was editing, so back in for an extra bit on the video. Okay, so these are buttons I think are really cute. They've got little stars on them. So I actually got these from a charity shop button box. One of the charity shops up near us, they've got this almighty hat box, and in there it's just got bags and bags of buttons where they remove the buttons from some of the clothes that come in that are stained that they can't use, and then they will take the buttons off, stick them in a bag and shove them in there in that hat box. That way you go in, you ask to have a nose through the button box, they pull it out and you sit there for 3 hours looking. Now last time I went in was during the break between lockdowns in the UK, and I've stormed in there, I've gone, have you got a button box? And he just looked at me, grinned, put it on the counter, and this thing took up most of the counter. He looked at me, grinned and went, have some fun. So I pulled out some buttons, which I believe I have showed you in a very early video. Don't ask me which one, I cannot remember. But I had all these different buttons. So I had a look in my drawers that I've got up here, up on the top over there. They're only little ones. And I found that I actually had 12 of those because I needed 12 buttons because I put extra holes in it so it would hold together. But as you saw a few moments ago, yeah, I could have done with getting bigger buttons because the buttonhole, they fit in through lovely on the buttonhole, but they're not very good at holding the jumper together when my belly gets in the way. So it popped, but I'd added extra buttons and buttonholes because I knew that was going to happen with me anyway. So fingers crossed, if I manage not to eat pizza or bread for the next 3 months, it'll probably shrink down and I'll be able to put it on and it'll be alright. But they were the buttons, and that's the story behind how I got those. So I'm sorry to say I can't tell you where you'd be able to get identical ones from. But if you manage to find them, drop a comment and tell me, and then I can go off and have a nose myself because I actually really like them and probably would use them again. It would have just rolled up when I wore it. Every time I slumped, I'd have had to have unrolled it. So that's why I added a couple of extra rows on the tummy. But other than that, I stuck the pattern to the pattern as it was. It was a lovely pattern to do. Very simple. It's double crochets and V-stitches and stuff like that. So really simple to do, really simple to make. And the pattern itself, for my first attempt at doing one from an English written book, I don't think I did too badly because it was all the same stitch. So I just had to remember to change the lettering over and stuff. So that's now finished, and I'm now on to my next one, and again it is out of this book. So I was nosing through it and I was like, right, okay, I've made that one, I'm not keen on that one, but I'll do another one anyway and we'll see how we go. So my next one, I thought, nice and simple, we'll do this one. It's all, can you see it? There we go. Yeah, it's all double crochet and it's got some wording on it. Now the reason I chose it is because I've not used this technique that they were talking about before. So there was a little bit of how to do it in the book, but of course with me having to having to read it and try and remember it, it just didn't sink in. So over to YouTube I came, typed it in and watched 5 or 6 different people's videos on how to do the technique, and realised it wasn't that different actually from doing these blankets where you're picking up and dropping off the yarn. It's just, and even where how you do the last stitch before picking up. So the only difference was you don't carry it backwards and forwards, which is a method I've done before, and I wasn't keen on that one because I could see the different coloured yarns through the main bulk of the fabric. And so I've started on that one. Oh sorry, started on this one, and I've got the back panel done. Now as per normal with me, I didn't do a swatch. I didn't find my swatch. I thought, right, well, I shouldn't need to size it. I know my stitches are quite generic now. I should be okay with this, but I'm working with a DK yarn. Now I had to check the yarn that they called for as well, because it's not one that I've got on my shelf. So I had to look that up to find out what type weight it was, and I found out it was DK. So they also said use a 5mm hook, which I thought was a bit strange because normally I'd only ever really go up to a 4.5 if I wanted a bit of drape with a DK yarn, but they'd said 5mm hook, so I'm like, right, I will do it as they tell me to do it. So I did it, and I did the whole back panel actually. Let me grab it. So I did the whole back panel, but I only got this far up. Okay, so I'd only done the back panel up to the underarms, but my back panel was twice the size of this one, very gappy, and my stitches were of course a lot longer. And I'm there and I'm thinking, this is going to end up looking more like a dress than the jumper in the picture. It's normal with me. So out came the tape measure and I measured it, and I was so off with my tension, it was unbelievable. The tension square was like, instead of being 10 rows, I think it was 6. So I was like, right, okay, I'm gonna have to strip that back. So watch out for the video for that, because I've also done a yarn review and I've used the stripping back of my back panel at the end of that to make you giggle. So that'll be coming up this week. It's one of the ones that was meant to come up last week, but it'll end up being this week. And so of course I've stripped it back and I've now remade the back panel, and it even has a tapering here around the arms as well. So that's the first time I've dealt with taping, because on this one it is a very square. Okay, yeah, so that's my back panel done, and I'm now working on the front panel, and I've got up to the wording, but I'm not going to show you that because I don't know how well it's going to go. And if it doesn't work out and it looks like dog's toffee, then I'm going to strip it back and just have a plain jumper. Simple, just plain jumper. It's got to be better than nothing, isn't it? Right, oh dear. Okay, so this last couple of weeks I've been quite quiet on the YouTube hauls, only popping into certain lives and not popping into everybody's, and if I am in the lives I'm just sitting back and listening rather than writing and joining in as much as normal. It's just that we've got family stuff that's been going on the last few weeks, and it's not stuff that I'm going to be talking about on the channel because I try to keep only the fun stuff, don't I? So now things are starting to sort themselves out again. Hopefully I'll be back into the YouTube hauls a bit more, coming round and annoying people even more than normal. You've been warned. In regards to lives though, there won't be any this week. I plan to probably start them up again next month. I just need a bit of brain time and I want to be able to get on with crochet rather than sitting here waiting for emails to come through. It's one of them. I love doing them. I love handing out the free patterns. What I don't like is having to wait 3 days for all the claims to be done and dusted, which is why I knocked it down to just 1 pattern and not 3. It helped cut the timing down. And so I'll still be doing that next month. When we start back up again, I've got to now make a new pattern up for you guys for the winter only patterns. Or I might bring back one of the old ones. So because we've had some new crazies join in lately, would you like to get your hands on like the old winter only patterns, or would you prefer the new ones? Stick your comment down below, just so I've got an idea whether I need to spend time actually writing out another pattern, or whether I can be a cheeky git and get away with reusing an old one from last year. There is 8 of them, 8 of the old ones. I think it might even be 9. But yeah, either jot in the description box down below old pattern or new pattern. That would really help me out. But it's the winter only patterns. It's just not the ones that are over on the Ravelry shop. Right, so now it's time for the bestest bit of the video. It is your photos. So come on, let's go and see what you guys have sent me this week. Right, that is it for me for today. I hope you've enjoyed this quick whips, bits and chat, and I will be back with you next week for another one. Don't forget to keep your eyes out for this week's coming Stitch a Week tutorial, and of course that yarn review that I've told you about. So fingers crossed I'll get the right dates this week. Right, I will see you all really soon, so if you can, please stay in and definitely stay safe. Ta-ra for now, everybody.